Hello, my name is Anthony Wall, and this is an online affidavit, open. See, they want to have things off the records because Interbranch has been with other nations fabricating transcripts into databases to pretend things that were recorded that were not recorded on off interbranch locations over the phone and through the mail. And worse, now we have military families also with their whole families involved with this criminally. Because now they have to deal with private, and private database stewards are recorded how kept needed to hide live aggressions through administrations also, not legitimately, but they use legitimate means for quote the right to lie unquote, where they don't have the right to lie. They pretend to be against dictators because they are preventing mandated law. If we had mandated law followed, and then if someone didn't, if the interbranch didn't follow mandated law as they did since founding, pounding drums, then they would be able to, in other words, if you should be able to tell if they made a mistake from inside the prisons tied to these courts that are highly sickly criminally foreign influenced. You can't discern that we have no integrity of sciences that speak for the what is inter-campuses. Inter-science is also further a problem with the most forsaken areas, so overtly easy, simple to discern. Let alone it's with every age and nature of campus. Highly, the delusions inter-sciences. Like for example, physical delusions when they use the words like dictator. If they were really worried about dictators, they would follow mandated law. And this would show remote uses of each identity, the ground location. And that recorded manifest as criminally influenced premises treatments, sequence treatments, identity treatments, no, finite active progressive value treatments, sequence treatments. Now, Interbranch Connecticut forges names and switches names. They do that for their time methods because then when you go to court, you have to listen to them when you're defending. They also have private lawyers. They have all exceptions. They are masters of keeping the wrong outcomes in cases, even when they catch the right people. Now they're also involved with that with framing people. They're recorded involved also with overt criminal enterprises. And this shows what is actually recorded that and how they were affected to already to charge groups like criminal enterprises wrongly, even when correct for the real causes of or for their involvements with predicate acts, with wrongdoing, with sequence shifts, illusions, with the overt criminal enterprise, private ones originally and still, not by accident. Psychology, delusions rot in our faces. We should have the right to be able to call up and complain about such, but they're forging names and switching names, distinctly and non-distinctly, the executive branch, the judicial branch, and how they have political parties involved with this. Mayors, their kids. Weathersfield mayors are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. My town's police chief involved with federal criminals, overt criminal enterprises, military predicate acts, forging names, switching names roles, wire crimes where they lie about what is actually recorded over the phones, uses of their kids for crimes because they want to get caught so they can pretend personal reasons they made me. Oh, I did that because it's my daughter. Because the interbranch never followed rules. You don't see how sick we have shootings with the same areas through time. That's not by accident. Before those people were shooters, they were recorded, involved with child abuses that are inter-campuses connected. And they don't even realize it because it's in the databases and it's live progressions from that. See, we have behavior crimes also self-valued by by people with this fake integrity, fake what it means if you criticize someone interbranch. They're bringing up, they're sequence shifting. They bring up They charge innocent people when they can't even follow the law now. Now these are people also on off the Ninth Circuit court right next to the World Trade Center towers, right before they were taken off from Connecticut with that spot in Manhattan, New York, interstates. These are also ones with Washington, D.C., involved with houses on off campuses and on off parks, on off Wethersfield town offices, on off the Wethersfield Community Center. As people enter cities, on off campuses, there's a CCSU magnet school on Franklin Avenue. Now that's also involved, for example, with Central Connecticut State University, training people to be certified teachers, training people to be prison stewardships leaders, training people to be, inter-sciences, types of jobs, abridged. We have an abridged constitution, which we were supposed to demonstrate. We're supposed to allow free speech to demonstrate, look, the surface values of the Constitution, they're abridged. If there's slavery laws with color, you don't have free speech. No one does. That's an evidence. They are preventing us from using such evidences. They are preventing they are pretending morality. Are they out of their minds to pretend morality? Follow mandated law, because WFSB also attached me to fake words, fake locations, attached other people related to me, other people I do and I barely know of. Fake words, fake locations with prosecutors and with judges and with police forms, my child's and their children. See how they have their children and families involved is evidence. See, but they're preventing mandated law. They have the stewards of the Facebook pages interbranch of New Britain Superior Court, Hartford Courts, child campuses, and medical campuses recorded involved then and further with child sex offenders, leaders of the kids. Now they forced this not to be told on, but when I caught them with untimely deaths and confessions tied to this, on and off one of the campuses involved with the principal child offender, further involved with families through time, with further involved with my houses in my area, with their extended family members and people tied to them, from my grade through time, from my ages through time. But people, in other words, they use that as a phenomenon to attach me and others to fake locations. Just because you're in the same grade with someone doesn't mean you've ever even seen them on your campus. Doesn't mean you've ever even seen them ever. Now there's a phenomenon where people I barely know, and only for real brief moments and stuff, that are recorded, confessed, demonstrated. That in the past was involved for them to stack illusions into databases that were exploited by the people needed to pretend to discredit me. They're just discrediting people without putting anything in writing, by forging names and switching names into branch, right through administrations. They used the Obama administration remotely. They used the Obama military remotely. They used administrations before that remotely. They're using the current administration remotely because they're preventing evidence reception that is not criminally foreign influenced and that is not delusions raw. I'm not a doctor. I'll delineate their delusions from their criminal foreign influences and uses of them by various natures of courts, of the same natures of courts, recorded with their personal connections and their family members, kept needing to hide lie progressions with interbranch drug cliques with overt gangs drugs, involved with and as doctors involved with their drug cliques as the ones pretending to be against that. Like if people have to go in for forced mental evaluation or forced for drug reasons, those people are the ones, plus they're falsifying medical information. They're putting fake chemical things into databases, pretending people took drugs that they never took, forging names, switching names. See, they have phenomena with medical databases, the ability to be able to force someone for mental evaluation where and how those courts and their judges and their family members and people that work for the courts and their family members are reported how kept needing to hide live aggressions from their roles with organized crime, connected, bonded natures of it on and off campuses. These are not theories. They keep everyone making theories about people while they're forging names, switching names. Respond for them forging names, switching names. You can't call up on the phone. They're going to put a fake transcript about what went over the phone. Two Mendez police, a whole bunch of people, Weathersfield Police Department, involved also with forging names, switching names, wire crimes with New Britain Superior Court. Dozens of people from the Britain Superior Court alone. Dozens of people from Hartford courts and then their family members. That quickly becomes hundreds of people with these people with other people's names in their mouths. Now, they are incapable of holding a trial since founding, pounding drums. Respond for them. Respond for WFSB. They also have ILO's home services, a whole bunch of people tied to him, and with mayors retired and standing, and with New Britain Superior Court involved with predicate acts with them, Hartford courts involved with predicate acts with them, fire departments involved with predicate acts with them, intercities, as people on and off Trinity College and on and off Central Connecticut State University with the businesses and with houses next to those locations, recorded, confessed, demonstrated, involved with organized crime, where investigators are making things up with the courts on and off these campuses through time. Now they were and are influencing people to pretend they know other people, legitimately and illegitimately. So, but that's all bonded. They just want to defend their titles to both. So they're also consciously stacked the names of a whole bunch of people I don't know at all, and people I only know from context barely, where they sought me out as strangers to make confessions. And this is in sustained ways from when kids are real young. In other words, then somewhere like you're a sophomore, you're a senior in high school, someone comes in and their family members, they make confessions to you out of nowhere. They talk about, things. In other words, their relationships to other people in your grade and stuff like everyone speaking through others is used criminally. We have a whole bunch of nations here and there, fake sides, sick fakes fluent right through it, suits and ties, counters to it, don't understand what they're countering or how to counter it, not by accident. Inclusion with and as it, self-value roles, call for your souls. Science never spoke for Hartford, Connecticut, let alone for any urban area. Let alone. I mean, they never spoke for any suburban area, let alone tactically, overtly, tactically denatured. Identity, ground, locations, all of them, designed to cause negative value nature progressions, acts, and natures. Effectively, they made self-value the causes and then blamed on other things, others themselves. They have roles with trials already. They have roles with prisons already. And they kept with those courts, kept needing to hide the same crime acts, roles with the worst natures of crimes and criminals, illusions. So you need to understand the illusions of the roles of the predicate acts with the mail and the wire crimes, falsified transcripts. That's what Congress is reading from. That's what they're pretending not to realize, so they can make more mistakes on purpose. Way worse than mistakes, way worse than war crimes. WFSB, do what's right and give my side, my. See, they put fake sides of correlation through time too. Respond for them. Respond for them. You go to the Britain Superior Court, they attach you to fake words, make confessions, switch names, forge names. If they want to debate this, they have them pick one because they're forging names and switching names on and off their location already. They attach me and others to fake confidence. They make falsified transcripts about what is recorded over the phones. All that is evidence. All we need is that. Now they're hiding the evidences because they have people involved with AT&T also involved criminally with this, retired and standing, on and off the New Haven FBI, on and off all these, on and off the Department of Homeland Security, on and off the buildings next to Fox Connecticut News, with these two Mendez police, with the Domain family, a whole bunch of other Wethersfield police, intercity police involved with them. That's in Hartford. These are people from crimes on off the Wethersfield Police Department. These Mendez brothers, police, with my town's police chief and with people with police intercities, like on and off Fox Connecticut News, on and off WFSB. Locations next to those media locations criminally involved. It's nothing personal. They're pretending it's personal criminally because they're preventing free speech mandated law. Respond for them. Fucking ignore me. Excuse my language. Then they fucking, excuse me. Then they wonder why the people are swearing. Little kids too, because these are real sick punks with little kids in the room. They are degenerates that need to get out of the court real fast. Respond for New Britain Superior Court right here, because they refuse to respond in writing. Get them on to writing now. Have them pick one name in sequence and say, apologize to the rest of the Wethersfield parents. Get them on paper now. And don't keep proceeding with the Senate, with the remotely used, worse than war crimes, World Trade Center predicate acts roles of these Connecticut interbranch with this, with what you see on the news every day. They were, it's the news, everyone's social opinions. You guys are sick. You can't see that so all fake. No one has integrity. Oh, it's morality that way. You don't have any morality. You don't know about morality. Fix the mandated law and the falsified transcripts into databases with other nations. Now. Stop lying about the other.